Hi everyone, my name is Hernandez. I'm a second year Texas Leadership Scholar. So just a brief overview of what I'll be going over. I'll be going over what I did for the summer, my classes that I took this year, what I did within TLS, some other student organizations, some memories from the past year, and then what I'm looking forward to. So for the summer, I had the opportunity to shadow at a pediatric clinic. I shadowed at El Paso Centers of Seizures and Epilepsy with Dr. Shea. She is one of two epileptologists in the El Paso area, so she sees patients from El Paso and surrounding cities from New Mexico, as well as people from Mexico and Juarez. So I worked with her as well as her PA and a nurse practitioner that work in her clinic. I learned a lot about seizure first aid, got my certification for seizure first aid as well. And then I learned about some of the symptoms and different kinds of seizures and epilepsy, and then as well as treatments, medications, and things like that. So what I gained from this experience, I realized my passion for working with children because it was a pediatric clinic. So a lot of the children had other medical needs besides just having epilepsy. And then I also gained awareness from some of the healthcare disparities that live in El Paso and the surrounding areas as well. But yeah, it was overall a good experience. And then some of the classes I took. So last fall, I took classes like general chemistry, neurobiology, cognitive psychology, data analysis. And then these were all to fulfill my neuroscience degree. And then this semester, I started taking classes like intro to social work, social psychology, experimental psychology, and then language, culture, and society, and an honors course, which was exploring Korean pop culture. And then the reason that they all switched was because I decided to switch majors. I went from doing neuroscience and psychology to social work and psychology. So the reason for this was because I wasn't doing well in my classes last semester or up until that point. And I realized it wasn't something that I was passionate about, and I wanted to switch into something that was more people-centered. So I started focusing more on my psych degree, and then I took my first social work class this semester. I learned a lot about different career paths because we had a lot of presentations from different people that work in the San Antonio area. We had a healthcare social worker come by, a child school social worker, and then just other career paths within the class that I learned about, which taught me that I did really enjoy what I'm doing now within social work. And then moving on to TLS, now that we're a little more established this year, we had a lot of events this semester and last semester, as well as more service events. So these are just some pictures that I took of things that I attended. This was like a Christmas social. We had our Halloween social and the family social that all of the leads helped organize. And then one of my favorite parts what we got to do were the service projects that we did with Ferrari Kit, which is an organization that most people haven't gotten the opportunity to work with. It's a really good experience. This was from the gala at our fall cohort project that we did, and then from the diaper bank and the Cantera service project that we did. And then obviously from TLS, I became a big, so some pictures of my little Lila that we got to do. This is from our reveal, and then just other fun activities that we got to do. My little and some of my friends' littles are also friends, so we hosted a little Galentine's for them at our dorm, which was a lot of fun. And then this is from a birthday dinner that we went to. And then for another organization, I was actually an officer for Women in Medicine. I was their merchandise coordinator, so I got to work with officers that had other different roles and interact with members and work on my communication skills and presentation skills. But as a merchandise coordinator, a lot of what I did was designing like the merch. So I got to design stoles, crew necks, stickers, and t-shirts through digital media. And then even though I was the merch coordinator, I still got to take part in planning a lot of the events that we did. So I worked with doing socials, experiential learning events, which are more like hands-on events for different medical fields, and then service and fundraisers. And then these are some other pictures of things that I wanted to do. and events I've helped plan. So this one up here is a pink one that we did in honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. These are some a volunteering project that we did where we worked at the UTSA garden. And then some general meetings, some fundraisers that we did here on campus, a hike social that we did. And then these are two experiential learning events that we did. So here we made breast cancer awareness bracelets and like had like a little information session for people. And then the other one is a solving medical mysteries event that we did, which is one of my favorite things we've done in the last year. And then another org that I was part of is Project Sunshine. So some of the things they do, they serve children in hospitals mostly, but we did events like Cards for Kids where we had made fun cards for children in hospitals with encouraging messages. And then we also did Sending Sunshine where we package activity kits, which are like DIY activities where they make like superhero capes and things like that, also for children in hospitals. And then bracelets for kids, where we make bracelets with encouraging words for the Confetti Foundation here in San Antonio. And then these are just more pictures of volunteering that I've done over the past year. So at the Ronald McDonald House, the diaper bank. That one over there is from the Children's Museum that I volunteered at this semester. And then I also volunteered at a nursing home with WIM, where we got to talk and play games with the residents. It was a lot of fun. And then one of the more TLS volunteering events where we picked up trash at the park and then working the cafeteria. And then taking it to the streets. So part of my social work class, we had to work, we had to volunteer somewhere where we worked with the marginalized population. So what we did at Taking It to the Streets was we served the homeless population here in San Antonio, served them food, gave them snack bags and clothes all for free. And then moving on to some memory. This was one of my favorite parts we did with all my friends. We got a chance to explore like all of San Antonio at this point, I think. Last semester we got the chance to go to Diwali. I went to Guadalupe River for the first time. We had our hopefully annual Friendsgiving. We've gone to a few Spurs games, bowling, top golf. This is a picture from my birthday with Holly and Hernandez. I got to go to the botanical gardens, like winter light show thing that they have. And then the picture over there is from when I got to go back home for my cousin's quinceañera, which was a lot of fun. And then for this semester, some of the other things we did. So the top one is from us going to the big event where we got to play laser tag and we played some arcade games. I've gone bowling, more Spurs games I've gone to, and then just like some dinners, and then pottery painting. And then these two pictures are from me singing at my church. And then another like additive of something fun I did this semester was my family came down to visit me for spring break here in San Antonio. Because being from El Paso, I don't get the chance to see them that often. But they came to me for the first time. So I got to take them to the museum that I volunteered at. So those are my cousins and my little brother. And then I got to show them some places that have shaped my college experience, which was a lot of fun and very meaningful to me. I also invited my siblings over to stay at my dorm for one night, so that was a lot of fun. And then finally, just some things I'm looking forward to. So this summer I got selected to go to the TLS study abroad in Costa Rica. So I'll be there for 2 weeks and I'm really excited to get to meet TLS from other campuses and just explore another part of the world I've never been to. And then for next year, I was elected to be the TLS Director of Mentorship. So I'll get to help with the big and little pairings and then help first years navigate through their first year. Yeah.
Right, so I'll start and just say I am happy to see how things are working out in your new major. I know that felt like a very big change for a minute there. So seems like it's been a good decision. Yeah, good. it'll be fun to see what you continue to do. I'm excited about your role as TLS Director of Mentorship, or what do you, yes, that, whatever you guys are calling it, that thing. It's so fun to see how Texas Leadership Scholars is taking off and growing, and you're going to have an amazing time in Costa Rica. So good job putting together your presentation. Keep keeping on, and keep doing all that you're doing. Yeah, if there was one thing I would say you should think about focusing on next year, it's going to be faculty connections. Faculty connections. So when it gets ready to look at grad school, you're going to need that in spades. There thoughts from other folks?
What has been the biggest lesson learned throughout these past 2 semesters?
I think relying more on people that are around me, my friends and family, because sometimes I like to do things on my own. I realize that it is harder, a lot harder.
Here.
What's your favorite part about?
Like I said, I think the people aspect, what I want to work with most is children. I've known that since like coming into college. So I think having more of a hands-on position to be able to do that within social work is what I'm looking forward to. And I learned a lot about one of the things I think I want to do or look into is working within the justice court system. I learned about early childhood court, which like takes care of children and mothers as well. So like interested into looking more into that.
Do you have a contact with that court?
Yeah, one of our presenters for the intro to social work was the director of the
Good.
court.
You talked about what you're looking forward towards Costa Rica. So what's something actually you're like afraid on the trip?
What is it? I guess the business class, just because it's so like different from what I'm doing right now. But also the how hot it is. I don't like the humidity.
As you're doing more social work classes, are there any organizations that you're thinking of joining that are kind of related to that you haven't joined yet?
So there's actually a social work student association. So I haven't had a lot of time to go because their meetings are usually in the downtown campus. So I'm looking forward to joining that next semester, actually.